Section 325 podcast. We're excited to be here. Week 5 wrapping up in the NFL.
This is the second half.
The second half.
Second half.
Anyway, we're excited to be here. Let's just get right into it. There were some crazy games. You can't predict this year, but let's.
No, not at all. We'll talk about the Broncos right now. I don't know. They just can't complete a full game. They were ahead at the half. Sloppy third quarter. Didn't really pull it together until the end.
Couldn't beat Hackett.
Couldn't beat Hackett.
They couldn't Hackett Bowl. The Hackett Bowl.
Yeah. I think Sean Payton is eating his words back, and since he said those words back in July about Hackett having the worst coaching staff the year before, and now.
But the white helmets look cool.
They did. I really loved it.
They look cool.
The white end zones, the old-fashioned D on the center field. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So
they look good. They just didn't look good.
Rough game. And then the Cowboys. They just suck, dude. They couldn't even compete. The Niners are either the most dominant team we've ever seen, or the Cowboys are who we thought they were.
We let them off the hook.
So it's just terrible. And then the Bills were disappointing. I thought the Cowboys losing is not like a shock, I think, because they've been kind of struggling. But the Bills to have a dominating performance and then just lay an egg in London.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're jet lagged. I don't know when they got there. I think they got there Friday.
Are they still jet lagged from week one?
Maybe. I don't know.
Week one?
So who do they have this week?
Jets?
I can't remember, but yeah, they don't have a bye.
I thought it was a good joke.
They don't have a bye after their London game.
Well,
I think they were just so East Coast that it was just an easy flight.
So
I don't know.
Anyway, the Bills are upsetting. Comment in the comments and what's the most upsetting game for you this week. You don't miss us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. But
what about the Seahawks? How'd they do?
Seahawks looked good this week. They were resting, physically getting ready for the Bengals, which the Bengals picked up a nice little victory against the Cardinals, and looks like they're maybe kind of heading back in the right direction. So
Chase had a great game.
He hooked up some fantasy people.
Oh yeah, absolutely! Like 52 points in most leagues.
Well, the parlay guy, he made a $10 bet, and he had to pick the 4 teams and who would score the first touchdown for each team, and he picked them all correctly.
Oh,
His
really?
$10 bet turned to $135,000.
Oh man, I should quit my job.
Whoa, easy.
No.
Easy. I almost quit my job and went straight gambling, but.
The Cowboys, they look horrible. The one thing I love about when Cowboys lose, it's a little victory inside of me, because anybody that's playing the Cowboys is my second favorite team. So
Cowboys, we don't even feel sorry for you at all. But
I love seeing the memes after Cowboys lose.
Yeah.
I love the fans in the stands when they're all sad and depressed.
Do you think Russell Wilson feels better about himself when he sees the way Prescott's playing?
I mean, maybe. Honestly, Russell, he's been playing great this year. Sure, he had some mistakes. In the last game, he fumbled the ball because he had the ball out on his hip as he was running. He should have just threw it away, save some time on the clock. But Russell, anybody can make mistakes. Like even Brock Purdy, I'm sure he has made a few mistakes.
Other than throw dimes all over the field?
A few incomplete passes, maybe.
Did you see the dimes he was throwing on the Cowboys?
Oh, I know.
I mean, just over guys like, boop. I was like, huh?
It's something that did stand out to me over the weekend. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is a very popular play. It's a reverse pitch flea flicker, and it goes to the tight end. The Lions did it, and the Niners did the exact same play against the Cowboys.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
I've seen that play probably a good half dozen times so far this year.
Yeah,
and it's been working. Apparently, the Lions scored their touchdown to Laporta, their tight end, and then Kittle with the Niners. So. Yeah. Anyway.
Does Kittle have the worst hair in league history?
Facial hair or just long hair?
His hair is thin, greasy, and he looks homeless. I don't know who had worse long hair though, because remember when Aaron Rodgers was growing his out last season? He looked homeless as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't a good look. But Kittle, dude, go cut your hair, man. Dude, it's terrible. Or go get some extensions in there to fill it in. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to your question, Russell and Dak. Yeah, I think Russell did better than Dak. Obviously, Russell didn't throw any picks over the weekend. But as far as right now, Russell, he's not the problem in Denver. Right now, it needs to the defense needs to step up. He can't give up 30 points a game. He can't win like that. So, but yeah, I mean, you've been a Russell fan. Well, a fan.
The one thing I could tell you is Russell, he got us the Super Bowl, right? It was our defense that really was the catalyst to all of that. But Russell came in and created this excitement. We had our franchise quarterback. He took over at preseason, even when he was a rookie. Took us all the way to the divisional playoff game against the Falcons, and it wasn't for
Wasn't he originally
Matty
like the
Ice.
third string going into that first?
He was going to be second string.
Second string, okay.
And we had picked up the guy out of Green Bay who was going to be our starter, and we were all excited about him. And he was behind Favre, and when when Rodgers got hurt,
Yeah.
he threw like 5 touchdowns, 400 and something yards. It was like crazy. We're all excited to get him, and Russell just looked magical. You just couldn't put that on the bench.
Mm-mm.
And he carried that magic all through that rookie year. And if it wasn't for Matty Ice, it was 17 seconds left in the divisional game, go bloop, bloop, kick a field goal and beat us.
Mm-hmm.
We probably could have gone to the Super Bowl that year. Who knows? But what I do know is Russell walked off the field. We were devastated to lose that game. We haven't been in the playoffs in a minute. And he gets to the podium. He's like, look, as disappointed as I was, I got in that tunnel. And I just said, you know what? We got the team. We're going to be in the Super Bowl next year. We're going to win it. He
said those
said
words?
it.
Oh, I think I remember that.
He said those words, and I believed him.
Yeah.
And then we were dominant that next year where we did win that Super Bowl. We went back again, and I just don't think he ever quite recovered from that interception. I still think he was great.
Mm-hmm.
But when he started to not be great is when they were like, let Russ cook, and he was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
He was cooking, and I read it later that him and Carroll had an argument, and he just shut it down. He didn't want to be there anymore, and that's when he just stopped playing well.
Yeah.
He was just ordinary. He wasn't extraordinary he was.
I could see that because after that fumble that got returned by the Jets for a touchdown to seal the game, Russell walked off the field, and Sean Payton was, kind of giving him some words, basically probably saying you should have just threw that away. Russ just kind of beelined it straight to the bench. Didn't want to hear it. I could see that, just shutting it out. But yeah, I don't know. With Sean Payton, I think he has developed a good offense, or a decent offense for Russ to work with. Maybe plays that Russ couldn't work with the year before, because there's a lot of play calls that were very questionable. I'm like, this is not Russell's offense that he's used to. And it's what Hackett was used to with Rodgers there in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
2 different quarterbacks. And now Sean Payton has maybe developed certain plays just for Russ. Maybe he's similar what Drew Brees had in his playbook. But other than that, they need to figure out the defense.
My whole thing boiled down to is that, Wilson didn't want to be in Seattle anymore. That's why we didn't see the magical Wilson anymore.
Yeah.
When the guy doesn't want to be there, he's not putting his effort in. So, but now that he's in Denver and there is no magic still, and this is into his second season there, I think he's just got diminished skills.
Yeah.
I think there's some diminished skills. He doesn't have that magic anymore where you remember the highlights. Even being a fan, you would still watch the highlights, just like we do with Patrick Mahomes. We hate the Chiefs. We don't like Patrick. But you watch it, you're like, how does this guy do all that stuff?
You almost respect him more. Like, oh man, how did he get out of that? Scramble around 25 yards
another
and
guy.
Throw down the field to Lockett or someone.
Yeah, Josh Allen's another one of those guys. Burrow, he's not one of those guys. He's just a good pocket quarterback. But those electric guys that just make stuff happen by being an athlete is something to watch. And I think think Russell's just lost it. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know, what guys. What do you think? Seahawk fans or Russell Wilson fans? Do you think he still has it? Do you think he's just done, washed in Denver? I know as a Denver fan, I hope for the best, but I know he's coming down from his peak years. But the way he's playing right now, it's obviously better than last year. But the way he's playing now, it gives me a little bit hope, thinking that he'll still stick around. I mean, I heard that Sean Payton, he had a 3-year goal. I don't know if this is where this is coming from, but he told the owners and the managers he has a 3-year goal. Year one, look to see what he has, possibly rebuild. If it has to come to trade deadline and get rid of a few players to get some picks, and then year two, capitalize on those picks, and then year three, you have your establishment of
then you fill in the holes. Fill in the holes. Yeah.
So hopefully that's what it is, and hopefully Russell is still in that. I mean, let us know what you think. But
yeah, Russell's washed up.
Sure. Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
But the Broncos won a Super Bowl with a washed-up Peyton Manning, so that doesn't mean that they can't win. It just means they can't pay other guys.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a diehard Bronco fan. I've been a Bronco fan my whole life. My family grew up in Denver before they moved out to Boise and where I grew up. So I remember my first memory was the Super Bowl 40 or 24, the 55-10 blowout Niners did to the Broncos. That was my first memory. And then the 90s, early 90s was not much. But living to see those two Super Bowl back-to-backs as a kid, and then again, Super Bowl 50, that's what a true fan is, like a long-term fan. A lot of these fans that I see on Facebook pages, they're used to the Manning years because that's maybe what they're used to.
Yeah.
They don't go back to the 90s or even the 80s when before Elway came.
Yeah.
So
true.
To me, we have 3 Super Bowl wins in my lifetime, which is great. It's awesome to say. Can a lot of football fans say that about their team?
I've been to 3 Super Bowls. Since
Exactly.
I've owned season tickets. We only won one.
Well, yeah. So anyway, there's like 12 teams out there that haven't won a Super Bowl. Imagine being a fan of that team.
Well, I was that guy. Yeah, exactly. Up until 10 years ago, I was a fan of the Seahawks, and I loved it.
Yeah,
and I will tell you that it was a dream come true to win that Super Bowl and to feel like just give me one. Give me one.
So I respect all those Brown fans, those Lion fans. Like, they're the true fans of their organization.
They are.
And I hate to see on Facebook pages that these fans are like, oh, Hackett should go from last year. And obviously he did. But, they're just talking about, and they got to think back. Like, enjoy the years that we had.
Yeah.
It will come back around. And just be thankful that you're not a Browns or Lions fan or a Vikings fan.
Or Vikings, yeah.
Or Bills fan.
Yeah.
But their Bills are good now.
Well, Bills and Vikings have both been to 4 Super Bowls and not one. So anyway, let's get to our picks. Let's see how we did.
Let's see how we did.
So last week,
I think you had the edge on me on this week.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I really struggled week 1 of this, and I needed to make a comeback, but I don't know how much of a comeback it was. So anyway, here's our games listed up here on the big screen.
Bears and Commanders.
Bears and Commanders. Shocking that after the Commanders were able to basically handle Philly and take them to overtime, to come back in that game, play them really tough. It was like, oh, well, the Commanders are good.
Well, I think the Bears, they took that motivation from the loss against the Broncos.
They had a big lead in that game.
They did. They had a big lead. I mean, they
darn near almost gave it back to the Commanders in this one.
They played 45 minutes of great football in that game, and it just happened to give it away.
Yeah.
But I think they took those 3 quarters and put it into like a full game.
Maybe they play that song on the sideline, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Anyway. So
I mean, who knew? We both picked the
Commanders. Obviously, the Bears won that game. We go to the Jags and Bills. We talked about that earlier. The Jags just maybe they're solidifying themselves as that playoff pushing team from last year, and really took it to the Bills and owned it that whole game. The Bills couldn't come back and overcome it.
Travis Etienne looked good on the ground.
So another loss for the both of us. And then Cowboys and Niners, we touched on that. Niners are extremely dominant, and the Cowboys suck ass. So
Brock Purdy, the next Tom Brady.
So Niners, we both.
It's just irrelevant.
Let's see how he handles getting paid. Because he's not going to get paid for a couple seasons, which is going to benefit the Niners. Now, they've got a rookie quarterback who is playing outstanding, and you're able to pay all them boys on the other side of the... And you're just like, okay, these guys are giving up 15 points a game. We just need you to score 16, Brock. But he's putting up 40.
I know.
So anyway, the Raiders and Packers really let me down last week.
And they let me down this week.
And they let you down.
Yeah, you said that. I think I even mentioned it before. They haven't played a full game. I mean, they barely got that one win against the Saints.
Yeah.
And yeah, they let me down. They're going to be letting down a lot of Packer fans every week if this is how they're going to play. So, which is good because they come into Denver in 2 weeks, which is the game I'll be at. So.
Oh, you're going?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Jamie and I. Jamie's a Packer fan, so.
So here we go, week 5. Me 2-2, just 500, but you in the losing bracket. Yeah. So
just me down below 500
I've
overall.
edged this by 1 game. Doesn't come up there, does it?
Yeah, click it again.
Click it?
Yeah, and then one more.
There we are.
Yeah, we want to have green circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could get a green one there, couldn't I?
No.
Darn it.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So let's go to this week's picks.
All right. What do we have for this week's?
We
have the Thursday night Broncos and Chiefs.
Broncos and Chiefs.
I'm picking Chiefs.
Chiefs for sure. But let's remind everybody that the Broncos did play the Chiefs very good last year. Came within 1 score, I believe.
Every year they seem to play well against the Chiefs. Both times last year they were within 1 score. I believe they bring it.
Well, that's division games.
That's
division games.
Cool.
That's how it works.
I know the Broncos haven't won against the Chiefs in the last 15 times.
Perfect example. Look at the Steelers and the Ravens from this last week. Ravens are clearly the dominant team going into that game. Steelers are suffering. They couldn't even beat the Texans, and they get blown out. And then they take it to the Ravens.
I know.
So you just don't know in a division game. Anything can go.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs are another level, right? I mean, they have been in the last several years.
Travis Kelce, he can sit out, and Chiefs will probably still win.
Yeah, he'll swiftly come back in, though.
Oh, you said it.
I said swiftly.
That's a 5-yard penalty for just saying it.
Yeah. All right, so we're both taking the Chiefs. Next game, Seahawks and Bengals. Bengals obviously are looking better.
You have Chiefs, you said?
Yeah, I have Chiefs.
Okay, yep.
The Seahawks have a great road record. I think it's the best in the league in the last 10 years. And they're coming off a bye. When I originally looked at this schedule, the Seahawks schedule at the beginning of the year, I'm like, that's a loss. Bengals are a Super Bowl contender. We're a playoff contender.
Yeah.
But now, as the season started, I like the Seahawks' chances, especially after going into Detroit and taking care of Detroit in that first home game of the year after beating the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And to win that game in overtime, I like the Seahawks in this one.
Yeah, I do too. Again, I think that defense against the Giants really motivate them into the bye week to let's just keep it going.
I pray that is their defense.
I know.
I pray
I picked them up in a couple fantasy leagues. So
okay.
I think I am playing them this week. Maybe. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so we both have the Hawks, both have the Chiefs, and Saints and Texans. So Texans, obviously, we just talked about they beat the Steelers.
They're surprising me this year. I thought they were just going to be like a bust, almost like Carolina is right now.
Carolina, yeah.
The fact that they're 2 and just the fact that they won 2 games is already surprising.
Already,
yeah. And CJ Stroud has not thrown a pick yet. But I have always favored the Saints defense this year. I mentioned it to you earlier in the year. I think they have a really good defenses, especially the teams that they face against all year long. So I'm picking the Saints.
The only thing that worries me, are they going to be the team that just shut out the Patriots in Foxborough 34-0, or are they the team that lost
to the Packers?
To the Buccaneers?
Oh, yes.
And got it taken to them.
Mm-hmm.
where they didn't really compete in that game at all. But I'm with you. I think the Saints, they're playing in a dome. It's a familiar turf, all those things. I think the Saints got that one. So here we are. First 3 picks, we picked the same.
We're the same, and this is not looking good. We need to swing it the other way.
Lions and Bucks. So here we are, the Buccaneers. They look good against the Saints. They're first in the division. Lions are first in their division. They look
good. I mean, talk about a team that went 1-6 starting of last year, and they won their last game of the year, which could have gotten them into the playoffs if it wasn't for Seattle winning. But
they put us in.
They put 9 games in a row. They won 9 games in a row last year to finish off the season, or something like that.
They won their last 10 until Seattle beat them at home that first game. So,
and again, that kind of goes back to what I said about Sean Payton. It was his 3-year plan. So, Dave Campbell, he might have had a similar plan. Rebuild, see what you have, capitalize on some draft picks. I mean, Hawkinson, their defender, he's great, man. That one-handed pick they had,
crazy good.
So again, you're capitalizing on those picks, of those draft picks, and then now here we are, year 3. Look where they're at. So I got the Lions in this one.
If you're picking a coach right now, 2 exciting new coaches that have been in the league, are you taking
McDaniels,
the guy from the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say him or the Lions coach.
Oh man,
because they're 2 different dudes.
Dude, let's just put that. That's our Super Bowl this year.
I see Dan Campbell as a guy that probably just runs around in jeans and a t-shirt everywhere he goes and looks like he's ready to just beat the crap out of somebody. And then
Daniels is that guy in sweats, just running around.
He's running around with the AirPods in, and he's just AirPods or whatever they're called, and he's just like, yeah, hey guys, so he's just bebopping.
Do you think at practice he challenges Hill and that rookie running back to a 40-yard dash every once in a while?
If he had a 30-yard head start, he's still probably
pretty quick though.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right, so I got the Bucks.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the game. Yeah, I think that's.
I like the Bucks at home. I think they've kind of proven Baker's playing super solid. Tampa Bay still got that good defense that they had a few years ago when they won a Super Bowl. Everybody forgets they got the 2-headed monster there at linebacker. Cowboys and Chargers.
I had to put the Monday night. I didn't want to go with the Cowboys because I'm obviously going to pick the Chargers.
Well, Chargers play tight games all the way through. They've been managing to win the last couple of those. The Cowboys either blow out or get blown out. And so Chargers are going to play with the Cowboys. It's going to be a close game.
Okay.
And Dak Prescott will probably throw an interception to lose, and the Chargers will win.
Yeah, that's
I'll take the Chargers.
That sounds about right.
Sorry, Dak.
Yeah.
So there we are.
But one of these times, so we have the Lions and Bucks as our game difference between you and I. So
we do. So
viewers, what do you think about these picks up here?
Put them in the comments. We want to see where you're picking. We can keep track for you as well.
If you're playing along with us, maybe we'll keep you,
we'll add you in
up as well. Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
Add you in.
And maybe even have a guest spot here for you, and you can play along and do your picks.
Oh, let's not get carried away.
No, not yet. Okay.
Not till the end of the season. They got to earn it.
That's what I mean.
All the way through.
Got to earn it.
Okay.
So play along all year long.
Well, I think that's all we got. So that's Section 325 podcast.
The second half.
Don't forget to comment on these games, and we look forward to hearing what you think about Russell Wilson as well. And enjoy Week 6 of the NFL. Section 325 signing out.